So, have you ever had that feeling where you just know something is about to go horribly wrong? That's exactly where we are with Coronation Street right now. It honestly feels like the air on the cobbles is getting thinner. You can almost hear the gears of a massive, twisted machine grinding away in the background. And at the center of it all is Megan Walsh. You have to ask yourself, how does one person manage to cast such a long, dark shadow over so many different lives? It's not just about what she's doing to Will. It's about how she's poisoning everything and everyone around him. Think about it for a second. We're watching a predator who has been caught, charged, and outed. Yet, she's still the one holding all the cards. Doesn't that just make your blood boil? It makes me wonder if the writers are trying to tell us something deeper about how the system fails victims. Because right now, Megan is walking around like she owns the place while the people she hurt are falling apart. Let's talk about this trap she's setting. This is honestly one of the most disgusting things I've seen on a soap in years. Will thinks he's going to meet an old mate from Hull named Lee. Just a normal catch-up, right? Maybe a chance to feel like a regular teenager again for 5 minutes. But no. Megan is using his past against him. She's literally wearing his memories like a mask. Using a friend's identity to lure a vulnerable kid to a car park is just next-level evil. It's a digital Trojan horse. She's invading his phone, his social life, and his sense of safety all at once. When Will shows up at that Freshco car park, he's not just meeting a person. He's walking straight back into his own nightmare. Why do you think she chose Lee? I think it's because she knows Will is homesick for a version of himself that didn't know her. She's taking that one piece of comfort and turning it into bait. It's brilliant in the worst way possible. Do you think Will has any chance of standing his ground once he sees her face? Or is the shock just going to freeze him? And look at Will's headspace leading up to this. He's properly messed up. We saw him on that scaffolding with a bottle of vodka. That wasn't just a kid acting out. That was a boy who feels like his life is already over. He told Maggie he can't get Megan out of his head. And that's the real tragedy, isn't it? Even when she's not there, she's there. She's become a ghost in his own mind. When he says he doesn't know if he'll ever feel normal again, it's heartbreaking. I really feel for him because he's grieving for a life he hasn't even finished living yet. And then you have Hope giving him advice. Now, Hope is a piece of work herself, but she's actually making sense for once. She tells him that if he quits athletics, Megan wins. She's right, isn't she? If he lets his talent die because of her, he's giving her control over his future. But can we really expect a 15-year-old to carry that kind of weight? Hope might be wise for her age, but she's also a bit of a cynic. She sees the world as a battlefield. Is that the kind of influence Will needs right now? Now, let's dive into what's happening with Sam. This is where things get really dark. Sam is usually the anchor. He's the smart one, the logical one. But Megan has spotted him. She knows he's the only one who really sees her. So what does she do? She starts a campaign to destroy his reputation. She steals his essay while Daniel is marking in the Rovers. Think about how calculated that is. She knows Sam's identity is tied to his grades. By making him look like he's failing, she's stripping him of his armor. And the psychological toll is just massive. Sam is literally starting to lose his grip on reality. He's having hallucinations of Roy. And this isn't the kind, gentle Roy we know. It's a version of Roy that's calling him a coward and a threat. It's like Sam's own conscience has turned into a monster because he feels so much guilt for not being able to stop Megan. Have you ever felt that kind of pressure? Where you know the truth, but nobody seems to be listening. It's enough to make anyone snap. And the drug plot? That is a terrifying turn. Sam gets a text offering him Ritalin for £5. At the same time, Megan is playing the worried teacher, offering him extra support. It's a pincer movement. She's creating the stress and then offering a fake solution. She wants him to take those drugs so she can label him as a troubled kid. If he's a drug user, who's going to believe him when he speaks up about her grooming Will? It's a masterclass in gaslighting. I honestly think this is some of the most effective villainy we've seen on the cobbles. She isn't using a gun or a knife. She's using Sam's own brain against him. When Carla finds him in the precinct and realizes something is seriously wrong, it feels like a race against time. If Sam goes into full-blown psychosis, the truth about Megan might get buried forever. Do you think Sam will take the pills? Or will his fear of Megan keep him away from them? Then we have Daniel. Poor, messy Daniel. He's a total wreck right now. He's being trolled by this truth-teller account, which we know is actually Jody. But he doesn't know that. He's being hounded for a relationship he didn't even know was a cover. He was Megan's human shield. She dated him to look normal. Now, his career is in the bin. He's drinking heavily, and he's scaring his own son. That scene where he smashes the world's best teacher mug was so symbolic. It's not just a mug. It's his whole self-image lying in pieces on the floor. And the kids at school are filming him. Can you imagine the humiliation? He's a teacher who has lost control of his classroom and his life. When he confronts Megan at the precinct, it's like a powder keg waiting to go off. He's prone to these angry outbursts now. Do you think he's going to do something he can't take back? It feels like the writers are pushing him toward a really dark place. The funny thing is, while all this is going on, the rest of the street is just as chaotic. You've got Summer Spellman in the hospital because she tampered with her insulin pump. She's so desperate to get out of prison that she's willing to kill herself. It shows how much pressure these characters are under. And Tyrone. He finally admits he lied to protect himself. He saw Summer was innocent all along. The guilt is just eating everyone alive. It feels like the theme of this whole month is the truth will set you free, but first it'll wreck your life. Every single character is sitting on a secret that is slowly poisoning them. Gary is being chased by Kit. Shona is devastated over a missing milestone card. It's all connected. The stress is like a virus spreading through Weatherfield. But let's circle back to the main event, the meeting in the car park. What do you think Megan's end goal is here? She knows she's going to court. She knows the walls are closing in. Is she trying to get Will to change his story? Is she going to use the pregnancy to manipulate him? Remember, she told him she's pregnant, but told Daniel she wasn't. She's using that baby, if it even exists, as a bargaining chip. She's trying to convince Will that they have a future. I thought we were in love, she says. It's so manipulative. She's trying to rewrite the history of his abuse as a romance. And for a kid like Will, who is already feeling lost and messed up, that kind of talk is dangerous. It's like a siren song. He knows he should run, but part of him is still looking for the love she promised him. I really worry about what happens if Will doesn't walk away. If she gets him alone in that car, who knows what she'll say? She could convince him to run away with her. She could convince him to lie in court. Predatory narcissists like Megan don't have a stop button. They only have an escalate button. And with the news that the actress playing Megan might be leaving soon, you know it's going to end in a massive explosion. The question is, who gets caught in the blast? Is it going to be Will? Is it going to be Sam? Or will Daniel finally snap and take matters into his own hands? Honestly, I'm leaning toward a Sam tragedy. The hallucinations of Roy branding him a coward are just too specific. It feels like Sam is being set up for a major mental health crisis. If he takes those drugs and has a reaction while he's already seeing things, it could be permanent damage. It's so frustrating to watch because we, the audience, can see exactly what Megan is doing, but the characters are all too wrapped up in their own drama to see the full picture. Carla is the only one who seems to have a clue, but she's got her own problems with the factory and everything else. What do you guys think? Is Megan Walsh the most hated character on the street right now? I think she might be. Even Stephen Reed had a bit of a pathetic quality that made you laugh sometimes. But there's nothing funny about Megan. She's cold, calculated, and she targets children. It's a different kind of evil. It's the kind that stays with you after the episode ends. Do you think Will is going to fall for her lies in the car park? Or has Hope's advice actually stuck? Don't let her control your life. It's a simple sentence, but for Will, it's a matter of survival. And let's talk about that car park for a second. The Freshco car park. It's such a bleak, public, but private place. It's where people go to hide. It's the perfect setting for a predator to corner their prey. Will is standing there looking for a friend, and he gets his abuser. The sheer terror of that moment. I can't even imagine. If you were Will's dad, Ben, or his grandmother, Maggie, and you found out he was meeting her, what would you do? I'd be calling the police before I even finished the sentence. But the problem is, Will isn't telling them. He's keeping it a secret. And secrets are exactly what Megan feeds on. It's also interesting to see how Hope is becoming such a central figure. Some fans are even predicting she's the new truth teller. Could you imagine Hope taking on the mantle of a digital vigilante? It would fit her character perfectly. She's always been a bit of an outsider, always been a bit darker than the other kids. Maybe she thinks she's doing the right thing by exposing people. But as we've seen with Daniel, the truth can be just as destructive as a lie if it's weaponized the wrong way. There is so much tension building up that it feels like the cobbles might actually crack. We've got court scenes coming up, we got a potential drug overdose, we've got a teacher on the verge of a breakdown, and a groomer who is still playing games. It's a lot to take in, but that's why we love this show, right? It takes these really difficult real-world issues like grooming and psychosis and puts them right in our living rooms. It forces us to talk about things that are usually hidden. Before we wrap this up, I really want to know your theories. This storyline has so many moving parts. Do you think Jody is going to get caught as the truth teller? And if she does, will Daniel ever be able to forgive her? She's his friend, and she's the one who has been making his life a living hell. That betrayal might be the final straw for him. And what about Sam? Do you think Roy, the real Roy, will be able to reach him before the Vision Roy does something terrible? There's a lot to chew on here. It's a dark time for Coronation Street, but it's also some of the most compelling TV we've had in a while. Make sure you stay tuned because I have a feeling next week is going to change everything. The trap is set, the bait is taken, and now we just have to wait for the snap. It's going to be a rough ride for Will and Sam, and I honestly just hope they both make it out the other side with their minds intact. But hey, that's just my take on it. What's yours? Do you think I'm being too hard on Daniel? Or is he really becoming a danger to himself? And Megan? Man, I just want to see her get what's coming to her. The producer said she won't get off scot-free. So, let's hope the justice system actually works for once. Because if it doesn't, someone on the street might decide to deliver their own brand of justice. And we know how that usually ends in Weatherfield. Anyway, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest spoilers, do me a huge favor. It really helps the channel out when you interact with the videos. So, if you could just take a second to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, I'd really appreciate it. And seriously, get in the comments. I read as many as I can, and I love hearing what you guys think. Is Hope a hero or a villain in training? Is Megan going to jail or Spain? Let's get a debate going. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one to talk about whatever craziness happens next on the cobbles. Stay safe, you know. It's funny how a show that's been on for decades can still find ways to make your skin crawl. This Megan storyline is a perfect example. It's not just a plot, it's a warning about how easily trust can be manipulated. And seeing it through the eyes of a kid, makes it so much more impactful. You really feel his isolation. Even with a house full of people who love him, he feels like he's on an island. And Megan is the only one with a boat. That's the power of grooming. It creates a dependency that's harder to break than any physical chain. I also can't stop thinking about Sam's grades. It sounds like such a small thing compared to everything else, but for a kid like him, it's his whole world. It's his way of making sense of the universe. If you take that away, you're taking away his North Star. No wonder he's seeing Roy. He's looking for a moral compass in a world that has gone completely sideways. I just hope Carla can get through to him. She's been through enough trauma herself to recognize it in someone else. She might be the only person who can talk him down from the ledge, literally or metaphorically. And then there's the whole Daniel and social services thing. Can you imagine? A social worker in your house because some anonymous account online decided to target you? It's a modern horror story. It shows how the internet has changed the way we interact with each other. A few years ago, Megan would have just been a local scandal. Now, thanks to Truth Teller, the whole world has an opinion on Daniel's private life. It's a level of scrutiny that no one is prepared for. It's no wonder he's drinking. He's trying to drown out the noise of 1,000 voices judging him for something he didn't even do. It all comes back to control. Megan wants control over Will. Jody wants control over the narrative. Daniel has lost control of his life. And Sam is losing control of his mind. It's a struggle for power where the most vulnerable people are the ones getting crushed. I'm honestly on the edge of my seat waiting to see how this car park meeting goes. Will it be a moment of strength for Will, or a moment of weakness? We've seen him push her away before, but she always finds a way back in. She's like a weed. You think you've pulled her up, but the roots are still there, deep in the soil. Have you ever had that feeling where you're watching a show and you just want to reach through the screen and pull someone away from a total disaster? That is exactly how I'm feeling about Coronation Street right now. Honestly, the air on the cobbles feels so heavy lately. It's like we're all just waiting for the next bomb to go off. And the person holding the matches? It's Megan Walsh. You have to ask yourself, how does a predator like her manage to keep such a tight grip on everyone even while she's out on bail? Is Will Driscoll actually walking into a meeting with an old mate, or is he stepping right back into the lion's den? This isn't just a simple storyline anymore. It's a masterclass in how a person can use psychological warfare to dismantle a young boy's life. And it's not just Will. She's poisoning the whole street. Think about the situation Will is in. He's a talented athlete. He has his whole life ahead of him. But right now, he's a target. Megan doesn't see him as a human being with feelings. She sees him as a project. She sees him as something she needs to control. She didn't just train him for the track. She groomed him for total emotional dependency. And why is this escalating now? Because Megan is a creature of habit. She feeds on vulnerability. She needs to feel powerful to feel alive. She was arrested and charged, but bail gave her the one thing she needed: time. She isn't stalking Will because she loves him. She's stalking him because his recovery means she failed. If Will heals, she loses her power. For a narcissist like her, that's way worse than going to prison. Let's get into this trap because it is absolutely chilling. It shows exactly how technology can be used as a weapon in modern abuse. Will thinks he's meeting up with Lee. Lee is a friend from his old life in Hull. This is such a disgusting move by Megan. By posing as Lee, she's using Will's nostalgia against him. She's making his own memories the bait. She's violating his digital safe space, which is just as bad as the physical grooming she did before. Can you imagine the shock he's going to feel? He's standing in that Freshco car park, probably feeling a bit of hope. Maybe he thinks he can finally have a normal conversation with a friend. And then he sees her. Why do you think she acts this way? It's her ego. She needs to be the only one who understands her victims. She triggered this meeting now because she sensed him pulling away. He was thinking about quitting athletics. To her, that's rebellion. She needs him back in her orbit to prove she can still coach his life. And look at what Will is going through internally. He's a hollowed-out version of himself. Remember when he was up on that scaffolding with the vodka? That wasn't just a teenager being rebellious. That was a desperate cry for help. He feels like the world is shrinking. He told his grandmother Maggie that he hates what she did, but he can't get her out of his head. That is the tragedy of grooming. It's like she's a ghost haunting his own mind. He's feeling proper messed up because he can't figure out how to be normal again. There's so much guilt there, too. He's grieving a love that wasn't even real. I see this as a kind of psychological kidnapping. She doesn't need to lock him in a room. She's locked him in a mental loop. Every time he tries to be free, she sends a text or leaves a note. She defines his reality. That I honestly despise how the legal system is working here. How is a known groomer allowed to be within a mile of her victim? It's a massive failure of the duty of care. Will is literally falling apart, and she's walking around scot-free for now. It's infuriating. Megan is a textbook predatory narcissist. She uses gaslighting to make him doubt himself. When she says things like, "I thought we were in love," she's trying to rewrite his trauma as a romance. She needs that control because her own life is in tatters. Her career is gone. Her reputation is ruined. By controlling Will, she feels like she still has a life. And then there's the collateral damage. Let's talk about Sam Blakeman. Sam is basically the sentinel of the street. He's the only one who saw her for what she was early on. And because of that, she's trying to destroy him. She's not just trapping Will. She's poisoning his support system. Why did she target Sam's grades? Because she knows he's a model student. His identity is tied to his success at school. By stealing his essay, she's taking away his confidence. It's a tactical strike. If Sam is stressed and failing, no one will believe his wild stories about her. She's making him look unreliable to people like Daniel, who should be protecting him. Sam is terrified. Those hallucinations of Roy aren't just for show. They're a sign of his conscience fracturing. He feels like a coward for not speaking up, and that pressure is cooking his brain. He's looking for a way to focus.